We're back.
We're back. Mercury's not even in retrograde.
Yes, it is.
It is now.
It's on the 7th.
Oh, okay.
It went into retrograde.
Oh, okay.
How about that eclipse, huh?
I didn't. What eclipse?
There was a solar eclipse, celestially, that has impacted people's lives in a negative way.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I was too busy getting yelled at by ugly online leftists to pay attention to any natural phenomenon going around me.
I've been having a lot of personal turmoil, so I haven't even let the haters get to me.
Yeah, that's great.
Truly.
Nothing like
it's been
personal drama.
I think it's been days since I've even searched Red Scare on Twitter. You have to scroll past like people just actually talking about the normal Red Scare.
Actual Red Scare.
To find
like, this is what these people have done. They've plunged us into a third Red Scare, and I'm like, oh my god, why are they saying such mean things about us?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. You got heat for your Spiked interview.
Yeah.
Which is apparently a Nazi publication.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's completely irrelevant.
I've never heard of it.
I hadn't either, honestly, when
you and Amber look great.
Thanks. I kind of looked like shit, but actually that photo was taken after I had been crying due to a couples fight, and I was also really drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah. That may explain my extra haggard appearance.
I think I look pretty after I cry.
I just
because my eyes get kind of puffy.
Yeah,
and I look kind of like sick.
Yeah, I think people with kind of like small and feminine features look very pretty when they cry, whereas women with like large and masculine features look like Masha Gessen went ham at a buffet.
Your nose gets really red.
Yeah, your nose gets puffy. You're like one of those Renaissance.
Your nose gets bigger.
Paintings of an alcoholic. You just like develop boils on your nose.
I'm blonder.
Yes, you are. I love your highlights.
Fresh
Dasha.
from the salon.
Gorgeous.
It took 5 hours.
Yeah. How about that book that I was reading upstate about women's looks?
Yeah,
I forgot
where is
about
it?
That. It was upstate at this
You didn't
home
bring it
that
back?
I went to. I didn't because it's not mine to take. It was like the Airbnb people's, and I didn't.
I've stolen books from Airbnbs before.
I would if I was the one renting the Airbnb, but unfortunately, it wasn't mine to take. You know, I tried to
find a copy.
Well, I tried. I went on Amazon.
Yeah,
and it's $103. It's a little pricey for what it is.
Rare book,
but they tell you basically how to make yourself look in a way that kind of complements your existing type, and she or he, it's a hairdresser, like a gay hairdresser to the stars, and
to attract men.
Yeah, to attract men, to like play up your natural qualities. And I was reading the part about the romantic, which I think is you. It's like the Gainsborough girl. And they're like, you should wear a single velvet string tied around your neck or in your hair. And I was like, Dasha already does that.
Yeah, I already wear Edwardian blouses and ribbons and shit.
And I kind of identified with the Gammon description, which was like an adorable street urchin.
Yeah, like Eliza Minnelli. Yeah. Like a small little rascal.
Yeah, an adorable little rat fink that's bobbing for cans in Dime Square.
When you get really drunk, when you're partying and you like, in Toronto, you kept like, so you were like really drunk and you kept falling down.
Yeah.
And you really reminded me of Liza Minnelli in Arrested Development when she has like vertigo. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, the only Liza Minnelli thing that I've ever seen is her really awful lib pandering serenade in Sex and the City 2, the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't recall. Isn't that the one where they go to Dubai?
Yeah, and she kind of comes out among a bevy of male dancers, like Madonna and Material Girl,
fabulous,
wearing her usual like polyester like spandex knit clothing.
I like Liza Minnelli. She did an audio tour for a Warhol exhibit at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. And
sorry, that was a lot of words.
Andy Warhol exhibit in Las Vegas, Liza Minnelli audio tour, and I found it very touching, and she actually made me cry because she described Andy Warhol's death and how they were having lunch or like dinner a couple nights prior.
That's dark.
And he was like, I'm going in for this operation. I'm really worried.
And her like Marianne Williamson cabaret voice.
Yeah, and she's like, I miss you, Andy. Her voice was like cracking. I was warbling. Like, a single tear. What else? You went upstate. People are mad.
Yeah, I went upstate and it had really limited reception, which was nice.
Yeah. So that kind of...
I felt like a kind of a disgraced celebrity or politician sitting out some major scandal.
Yeah, I guess you got a lot of heat.
Yeah, for like over nothing.
Usually I like to stick up for you online, but yeah, I wasn't really logged on.
Yeah, no, same.
Which is why I missed is air conditioning sexist discourse, unfortunately. Because
I missed that too. I'm stunned that I don't get why people are talking about this.
This girl wrote an article about how air conditioning is sexist, which is a thing I've heard before. And like the way office, commercial, and retail spaces are like, the temperature is based on like men's preferences. So that's why women are always like freezing cold and shivering.
Yeah, I think the temperature is just based on the preferences of like the group that gets the most hot, and that happens to be men a lot.
Mm-hmm. She does reference the wing in the piece, and I think she says that they keep it warmer.
Really?
Because it's only chicks.
Wow, this has just incentivized me to set foot in the wing. If they'll still let me, of course.
If the temp is right.
So
then she got some woman wrote an article about how air conditioning is, let me find the tweet.
It's Taylor Lorenz, and she's a writer for The Atlantic.
Yeah.
And I have the tweet right here. I can pull it up. She said, air conditioning is unhealthy, bad, miserable, and sexist. I can't explain how many times I've gotten sick over the summer because of overzealous AC in offices. # ban AC. Ban AOC.
Yeah, so she got a lot of flack for this. A lot of people came out standing for air conditioning. But I actually think she's right.
I think she's right too. Spot the lie. We are AC truthers up in here.
I mean, yeah, it's nice to have air conditioning, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine as long as it's kept at a moderate rate. But I always like took umbrage with those like big stores, like huge retailers in Soho that blast AC so much that basically they cool the street and it's like freezing in there.
Yeah.
I understand in grocery stores you have to keep the produce refrigerated or whatever.
Grocery stores, offices, I guess you keep cool.
Yeah.
But I think one's home, there is virtue to like kind of suffering.
Yeah, lowering your carbon footprint.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, but I was speaking more like existentially, like living through. And this, I mean, I've never really experienced seasons before. I moved to New York, and I really enjoy them. And I like that you everyone's like collectively hot or like collectively cold, and you're like facing adversity, and I think it makes you a better person. Yeah,
and they really punctuate your solipsistic misery and remind you that you are but a crumb on the face of the earth, as my dad used to say, and you are subject to the whims of nature. And any moment, like the sea levels can rise and carry you away.
I don't have AC in my sublet. Yeah, there's no AC in my sublet, which is initially I was very freaked out about. Yeah. But now I think that it'll be a good experience for me.
It'll make you a stronger person.
Yeah. I'll drink some ice water.
Yeah.
Some Gatorade Zero. I'll mist myself with rose spray and then point a fan at me.
You can feel like a fainting damsel at all times.
I can. Yeah. And I do. Lying in on my fainting couch.
I think like just because something is shitty doesn't mean it's automatically sexist. So I don't necessarily agree with Taylor Lorenz here that AC is sexist. It seems like the classic white girl problem maneuver of making it all about you. But
I think I think air conditioning is sexist because the hot take generator is working.
The hot take machine.
I think that the reason that you would regulating the temperature of a space is very masculine.
Right. It's something Capricorns would do.
Yeah.
Which we all know that
and
sign is overwhelmingly male.
We need somehow. We need spaces to be a comfortable temperature so that people can work and so people can go to work.
Yeah.
And toil.
If women don't want to suffer through AC, they should just not work in an office.
Yeah. Why? They should lie down in their sublet on a fainting couch all day,
surrounded by Lacan tomes.
That's feminism.
Yeah, that's my trad cath take of the day. I think she's kind of being fat phobic here because
interesting.
Plus size ladies need the AC. They chafe more easily than the rest of us.
That's true. Very woke.
Yeah.
Very woke of you, Anna.
Yeah, I'm really turning a new leaf of tolerance.
Are you going to come to Latin Mass with me on Sunday?
Yeah, sure.
And
why
then
not?
Brunch with the Catholics?
Yeah, I'm down to embrace religion.
You know I am.
I need a new identity politic to rest my laurels on. Yeah, I don't know. AC is kind of just a symbol of American excess. I remember my weird mini Gark cousin was visiting once from Russia, and we went to one of these mediocre Spanish restaurants on the Upper East Side, and he motioned for the waiter to come over and asked him to turn off the AC, which was such a inappropriately Russian thing to do because there was a room full of diners.
Right.
And I think they lowered it down a peg, and then he proceeded to go on a tirade about how AC is a symbol of capitalist excess or something.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all acclimated to it and feel, entitled to it. But it's really, when I was in Berlin a couple years ago, I asked a German person why they had only washing machines and no one had dryers in their apartment. And she was like, oh, because drying your clothes in a dryer is bourgeois and it means you're giving up.
Yeah.
And I think there's really something just having the extra task of hanging your clothes does have kind of a virtue.
Yeah, it brings you closer to your essential humanity.
Totally.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you that you need to put your clothes in a machine that dries them?
Yeah, or hire a Chinese person to do it for you.
Yeah. Why don't you just do your fucking laundry?
I know. I mean, it is maybe bourgeois eschatology. I want to see the Venn diagram of people complaining about climate change denialism versus people who blast
who are
their
obsessed
AC
with air conditioning.
Yeah. And who get their groceries delivered
right
and seamless every night.
Well, some of those people are disabled, Anna. When people wanted to boycott Amazon,
right,
and then the disabled caucus came out.
Well, that's
to remind
fair enough.
People that you can't. But I don't know. It's fair, but you're not being a good comrade. It's but people working in those factories are still shitting their pants and crying and stuff and having a bad time.
Yeah.
You could figure it out. You could figure out another way.
Yeah, I did.
Not that I boycott Amazon, obviously.
No, I did actually order an air conditioner on Amazon.com and Amazon.ru last night or this morning. I can't remember which one, but I did press
you're a hypocrite.
the button. Yeah, I am a hypocrite because I'm dying. I live in this apartment with plentiful windows that are not up to code, and it's very hot in here.
It gets fucking hot, I know.
So
I'm just gonna go. I just don't go to my apartment. I just roam the
wander
streets.
around.
I'm a real flaneur.
Yeah.
This summer and go to the movies and stuff and try and find spaces to be in.
I think it's better to walk outside when you're sweltering hot versus lay down.
Yeah.
Maybe. I will say if my takes have gotten more retarded over the last several months, it's because I've been trapped in this steaming hot apartment, which has slowed down all of my mental processes.
Yeah, if you thought we were low energy before, I think sweating, I look good sweaty also.
Yeah.
I when my hairs get wispy and kind of curly, and then my face is really shiny from sweating.
Yeah, you have that highlighter glow that chicks pay a bunch of money to
exactly.
Yeah, like attractive men have this naturally. They have everything that we pay top dollar for, like lush lashes, a kind of rosy cheek thing going.
Yeah,
poreless skin.
Why? How?
I don't know.
God.
Could it be that women have been paying to look like men this whole time? Or like pretty boys?
But boys don't do anything.
They play a lot of like games, both.
No, I mean like beauty wise.
Oh, beauty wise? No,
like,
they don't.
They don't even know how to get soap.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if we like take off our face, we look like washed up old hags or something. I like limited AC in the sense of like going into Sephora and like pocketing products and applying makeup in a cool room.
I was at Sephora earlier.
Oh yeah. How'd you make out?
I didn't steal anything because if I get caught again, I'll go to jail.
Yeah.
So I got some. What did I get? I got like lipstick. Whatever.
Me too. Yeah.
So what else is in the news? Oh, a bunch of billionaires.
Ross Perot is dead. Tom Steyer is running for president. Jeffrey Epstein is arraigned.
Yes. Awaiting trial.
Yeah.
For his heinous crimes. We'll get back to it. Who is Ross Perot?
He was, I think he was the most successful independent candidate for president in history. I think he garnered something like 18.9% of the vote in 92.
I only remember, that show All That was like Saturday Night Live for kids. They had like a Ross Perot, or maybe it was on the Amanda Show.
I don't know, that every kind of sketch comedy show on TV in the 90s did the Ross Perot.
So that's what I remember because I didn't have political consciousness then. Yeah, we all remember Ross Perot as kind of like this Dumbo-eared boogeyman from our youth. He was kind of like an independent cowboy type self-made man who maybe, I don't know enough about him, but maybe if you look into him, he'd be like the Big Lebowski and it was all like a sham. But a lot of people are very fond of likening him to President Trump, which I think as Felix of Chapo tweeted out earlier, the more apt comparison is Tom Steyer. Like he talked about how there was a certain poetry in Ross Perot like croaking the day that Tom Steyer announced. I think Matt Brunig posted in his announcement video, Jeffrey Epstein is in it for like a frame.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, damn, you guys all really do know each other.
The cabal. I mean, they're almost like Brooklyn podcasters. It just seems like the class of self-made millionaires and billionaires is all friends with each other. Nothing weird about that. They all take little jaunts on their private jets.
Yeah.
And they all fuck underage girls together.
They all traffic children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Perot was very much like a traditionalist. He belongs to the age when conservatism was more about maintaining its like moral credibility,
right,
versus airing its indecency and vulgarity.
So he was like basically conservative but identified as an independent.
Yeah, he was kind of I think a libertarian sort of guy. He was famously against the Gulf War.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he had a spiel about kind of America sucking taxpayer dollars to like prop up Saddam Hussein only to tear him down. Right. Which like isn't wrong.
Spot the lie.
Yeah.
Ross Perot.
He was like that guy. Who's that guy? His name eludes me. He kind of looks a little bit like Ross Perot. He's like a long running independent figure.
Dennis Kucinich.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. His wife is
she's so hot. She's like a 6 foot tall redhead, right?
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
She's gorgeous.
Ugh, I love redheads. I love redheads in the summer. They're all like sunburnt. And like frazzled.
Well, there's two types of redheads. There's like really hot redheads that are trophy wives of billionaires or famous actresses or famous porn stars, and then there's like evil redheads who spend all their time online making fun of other sweeter and much cuter people. But
that girl's really good. That woman's really getting to you. That woman's truly off her meds.
Yeah, we wish all of our haters the best. Truly,
I'm literally praying for you.
Yeah, this is like I think one thing people don't know about us is that I really truly love all my haters because they've made me the man that I am today. And also, I empathize with their plight.
Grateful for the hateful.
Yeah.
Which plight is that?
Well, just like I kind of empathize with whatever personality or psychosexual disorder is making them misallocate their energies into freaking out about other relatively marginal people online.
Right. That's compassionate of you.
Yeah. I'm a very compassionate girl.
I can understand the impulse to be mean to a stranger.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, it dawned on me today that actually, no, it's like, it's like just like, Donald Trump has never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke. I've never actually heard an attractive person say anything negative about my appearance, which is not to say that they don't think negative things about my appearance. I am very humble and not like arrogant enough to presume, but that they're too busy.
Been looking great lately, Anna.
That they're like too busy with their own lives to like really worry.
In general, attractive people are not being mean online.
Yeah.
I'd say 99% of our haters are ugly.
Yeah. Being hot is the closest you can get to like spiritual cleanliness.
If you're hot, God must really love you.
Yeah, it's like, in the Quran it says like cleanliness is close to God, is the closest thing to godliness or whatever. I think hotness is the closest thing to godliness.
It's true. When you're hot, also your life is pretty good.
Yeah, it's just like a snowball.
You receive people with grace and
largesse,
charisma. Yeah, because people are like have been happy to see you your entire life. Literally, like I'm happy to see someone hot.
Yeah, me too.
They like brighten up my day, and I in turn treat them better than I would treat someone who's not so hot.
Yeah, it's like the mere fact of your existence speaks volumes about what you think of other people. You don't have to say anything. Yeah. So anyway, R.I.P. Ross Perot.
R.I.P. to a real one, I guess.
Yeah. I guess the idea, Ross Perot, by virtue of
Did he have a hot wife?
I'm not sure. I can look into this. I think the thing with him is that he was such a successful independent that he was kind of accused of derailing the vote in favor of Bill Clinton.
Oh yeah.
Even though he didn't particularly care for either Clinton or Bush. Yeah.
He kind of Jill Steined it.
Yeah. But I don't know how true any of this kind of independent fear mongering is.
His wife's okay.
She's all right. Yeah. He's kind of like a Warren Buffett country guy.
Yeah. The two-party system sucks. I don't.
Have you noticed all these new poll reports that are basically like talking about all the Democratic candidates but won't say Bernie's name? No. Like all the major news outlets, like the Democratic news outlets, refuse to basically.
Yeah, they really don't like him.
They're like, that guy over there who's being propped up by two teens, not Mike Gravel. That other guy, he's wearing bifocals.
Swalwell dropped out.
Oh, right. Why is that? Because he sucked and was unmemorable?
Yeah, because he's a loser, idiot.
The first of the gang to die.
Stood a fucking chance anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking forward in the coming weeks to see.
Is Tom, what's his name?
Steyer.
Is he going to be at the debate?
Well, it's hard to tell. He probably won't raise enough funds or whatever. I don't think he has time. It's not a really good time to be a billionaire.
Well, yeah, no, it's not. We don't admire them the way we we've realized.
No,
that no one should have billions of dollars.
Yeah, they've really like pulled back the curtain on these guys. Tom Steyer is an interesting guy because he's like a self-made guy, from what I understand, who's poured a tremendous amount of money into taking out these self-funded TV ads that have been basically calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump.
Yeah, right. I saw that.
Well, I remember seeing those on all the major news networks and being like, this doesn't seem right or legal.
It seems like a grift to get people to like
notice his campaign bid. Yeah,
exactly.
I think he really
the guy that was gonna impeach Trump.
Yeah, he allegedly he's worth 1.6 billion, This is according to Forbes. And he's like another hedge funder guy. I wonder what skeletons are in his closet. Is he diddling boys, girls, whatever?
He's probably been on the Lolita Express.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I want to come up with a Lolita Express joke. Maybe it'll come to me.
Me too, yeah. I like the sound of Lolita Express, even though the buck stops here and we will not be endorsing billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein on this episode of Red Scare.
He did something wrong. We're brave enough to say it.
I'm going to say he did something wrong again and enunciate it so that our haters can take that out of context and like splice it up in their editing software and like make a little computerized master cut of us saying he did nothing wrong there. I did it for you. So I think Steyer is also just like another one of these narcissists and psycho fans who's catapulting himself onto the world stage.
Howard Schultz is out. He's not.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard of him for a while.
I don't think he qualified for the debates, and I think he's
gone.
He's back. He's taking his Starbucks money back where it belongs.
The most depressing thing about being a billionaire isn't that you can run a sex ring of minors, like an international sex ring for decades and not be caught and then be slapped on the wrist. It's that like even being that rich, you still want to be famous.
Right.
Like, dude, if I was a billionaire,
you still want to cavort with celebrities and stuff.
I would just like buy my own private island and quietly die of AIDS like Rudolf Nureyev if I was a billionaire, like among my art collection.
I definitely wouldn't traffic the minors. I'd keep them
on the island.
On the island.
Yeah.
On my pedophile island.
I would just buy the island that the Vatican bought to store all the priests. Like sexual Guantanamo Bay.
Should we get into Epstein? I don't really.
We can talk. We have some other shit on the docket.
Oh,
There's the Melania statue.
Oh yeah.
There's Black Ariel.
I like the Melania statue.
It's very folk art.
Yeah, it's very outsidery. I think it's interesting. It looks Slovenian as hell.
Yeah. It looks like one of those Russian churches that was made with no nails.
Exactly. Yeah.
Slovenian woman strong like bull. It really conveys her strength and audacity as a woman.
Yeah. Some people are mad that it's not as attractive as she is, but it's an impression.
I wasn't sure if it was a troll until I read the description of the statue, and apparently it was carved by this guy Aleš Maxi Zupovic, who's a local Slovenian artist, but it was commissioned by a Berlin-based American artist, Brad Downey. When you hear Berlin-based American artist, you should run for the hills.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not going to look into this guy, but I bet you he's one of these annoying resistance cons.
Right.
Or maybe not. Maybe he's just
Berlin-based. He's definitely like, oh, so you think it is kind of a troll, or it's an inside job?
Yeah, it's like one of those like it's like the Paul McCarthy butt plug. Like it leaves you wondering, like, is it or isn't it?
Right. And in that way, it is a wonderful piece of art.
Yeah. It successfully thematized the moment, as like the Berlin art crowd is fond of saying. She basically, it's like her likeness from the inauguration when she was wearing that powder blue suit.
Yeah.
With like the dramatic neckline.
Yes.
Had like a scarf or something. So the one resident said that the sculptor worked a long time on this, and she does not look as beautiful as she normally is. Sorry, I should have read one sculptor.
What's the Berlin-based artist's name? Brad
Downey. Yeah. We're really in the war room right now.
Yeah,
Dasha's
we're going to get
looking
to the bottom of this. Oh, he's kind of... Is he hot? No. But a Wikipedia.
He doesn't have a Wikipedia. He does. Other people called it a disgrace. Another local said it looked like a Smurfette. People said it looked like a scarecrow.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a scarecrow.
It kind of looks like Strega Nona, that children's book.
Something from Midsommar, which I watched yesterday.
Which we will be reviewing. We will be reviewing on the next
Midsommar.
EP. Midsommar. It's just a movie about how Scandinavian families get in the bathtub together and like swim in each other's bathwater.
Stop. Scandinavian people are so annoying.
Yeah, they just like
bloopity bloop vomit language.
I know, they're so like friendly and fun and nice and like one with nature, and they understand that cute animals have dark spiritual sides.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah,
with Midsommar.
Yeah. But like, yeah, this statue reminded me of that really bad statue of Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah,
where his face looks all really like wrinkly and weird.
Which they actually remade to make him look hotter than he is.
Good. I hope a statue of me is erected one day.
Yeah, except it looks like a weird wooden block in Times Square.
Yeah. Except I have huge tits. The tits on this statue are big enough yet.
People can like seek shelter during rainstorms under huge wooden tits.
Oh, I don't know if it would be wooden.
I think it has to be like a folk material to like appropriately represent your Belarusian heritage.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. But like mine will just be like tufa, which is a particularly cheap variant of limestone that like is common in Armenia. And all the buildings are made out of it, which is why they look so cramped and hemmed.
You know a lot about materials.
Yeah. I studied architecture back in the day when I was more literate and like idealist about the world.
I read the Wikipedia for architecture the other day.
Like architecture, Philip Johnson, glass house.
I'm impressed by architecture because I have a very hard time like existing in physical space.
Yeah, because you're a Pisces.
Because I'm a very conceptual person.
Yeah.
And the thought of like physicality really overwhelms me. Yeah. I was thinking the other day, I was getting very overwhelmed the other day thinking about how heavy things are and how like weak I am.
How you're frail and brittle arms and upper body cannot lift.
Carry anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's anyway, I get no joy from carrying things.
No. Well, what's going to happen when you have a baby?
Pain. Well, the baby's going to be skinny, Anna.
It's going to have to carry itself.
The baby's going to be very light because it'll be very extremely premature.
Wait, Dasha, I have a question for you. Would you let your husband wear one of those front-facing baby packs, or is that too gay and emasculating?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
By the time you have a baby, I think you don't like your husband anymore anyway.
Okay. That's a good point.
You know, he's already pathetic to you, so you might as well.
So you don't mind seeing him cucked by life?
No. Yeah. I'd probably find it satisfying.
Yeah, it reminds me of that really great scene in Eastbound and Down where Stevie's at the grocery store with his Mexican children trying to buy bagged instead of boxed cereal, and they're like, dick licker, cocksucker. It's like crazy Mexican children. That's probably how my mom felt with her like weird Armenian children who didn't look at all like her and were constantly like hyperactive and breaking shit.
I prefer the front-facing baby thing to the sarong or whatever that people wrap their babies in.
That seems like ergonomically unsound.
Yeah. And like, no.
What do you think about breastfeeding in public?
I think it's okay. I think like discreetly.
Yeah, that's the answer.
But you have to breastfeed your kid.
I want to roll my like big naturals out like a red carpet for the baby to like march down. Sashay down that carpet because everybody knows I'm gonna have a gay son, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That poisonous breast milk is gonna turn him gay in no time.
It's like spiked seltzer and like Dime Square fumes.
I can't wait to raise our children in Dime Square.
Yeah. Leia is the godmother.
Mm-hmm.
She like puts it in her backpack when she goes to an EDM festival. Anyway, so I mean, overall the statue, I guess, I think like if I was as hot as Melania, I would be offended that somebody made an ugly statue of me, but also honored that somebody thought to make a statue of me.
Yeah, and it's in Ljubljana or wherever she's from. It's nice.
It looks more like Zizek, that statue.
There should be a Zizek statue there too.
Of him hunched over at the Peterson debate.
So Slovenian people probably really do admire Melania.
I think, this resident said I can understand why people might think that this falls short as a description of her physical appearance, but on a positive note, it's emblematic of the heights that she had reached, which is kind of a dig at her hometown. Because they're like, the heights that she reached becoming trophy wife and moving to America and leaving us in the dust.
She's the first lady.
Of Ljubljana. And also the United States.
I mean, she got pretty far.
Yeah, she did well for herself. She's the Paul Bunyan of American politics. So good for her. Should we talk about Black Ariel?
Yeah. They're doing a live action Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ariel's black this time.
Yeah.
And this time she's black.
Yeah.
And some people online don't like it so much. They say hashtag not my Ariel. Hashtag. Because like
people call me racist.
I mean, why the fuck do you care about
children's cartoons?
Like, grow up.
I know. I felt like the bigger issue was that this.
Well, they're doing all the Disney ones live action now.
Okay, all of them are black.
They're all black.
They're all black. Yeah.
Walt Disney was rolling in his fucking grave. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, wasn't he like
extremely racist? He doesn't like that so much.
Didn't Walt Disney conspire with the Nazis? He was an admirer of Hitler. No, am I making this up?
No, there's something to that. He was like a famously racist person.
Yeah. They should just make Ariel fat and invert the old formula. Ursula gets to be skinny.
Yeah, Ursula's casting will be interesting.
It will be. That's really what I care about. I don't give a shit if Ariel is black. More power to her.
Yeah.
I think Black Mermaid sounds hot.
Yeah, I'm not going to see
a children's cartoon, yeah. Anyway, I welcome the idea of a black Ariel.
Just make a new movie. Just make something else.
That's the bigger.
I'm fine with Black Ariel. Obviously, I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. But like,
yeah,
it's my issue is more about the regurgitation of nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean my hot take, which is not a hot take at all, it's a totally lukewarm take, is that the bigger issue is that Hollywood needs to like come up with some better ideas instead of remaking the same movie all the time. Yeah, exactly. Though actually the silver lining of that is that we get to see kind of the generational mores change over time with each remake. I.e. we get to see how sluttier women get.
Right.
Yeah.
Aladdin. I didn't see it. Obviously, I didn't see it.
Who plays Aladdin? Like Zac Efron?
They had a hard time with Aladdin because they that's one where you have to cast like a Middle Eastern person. But there's no real famous Middle Eastern people. Of that tier. And the girl who's
isn't the guy who played Freddie Mercury Middle Eastern? Rami Malek?
Yeah, but he doesn't look like Aladdin.
He can juice up a little.
Yeah.
If they can make Samuel L. Jackson look like he's 33 years old, they can make Rami Malek look like he's like an chowderhead.
Right. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
They're doing Mulan too.
Melania.
They're
doing Mulan and casting an Asian person. I don't know. It's
but they're that one's really pandering to Chinese audiences. They cast I forget her name.
Yeah,
some Chinese actress. The girl who's playing Ariel is named Halle Bailey.
That's the bigger problem. I was like, every time I see that name, I think Halle Berry.
I'm like, holy shit, Halle Berry's in this movie.
I'm like, yes, Queen. Hollywood stands against ageism. 53-year-old Halle Berry is playing a teenage mermaid.
Halle Baby is beautiful and does look like a princess.
She's gorgeous. She has those
incredible,
long, beautiful waves. She looks like
a teenage mermaid already.
Yeah.
I wish her well.
The only other person I could see playing Ariel is famous bisexual Bella Thorne, because she has that naturally red hair. And I think her nipple piercings would look great on like a mermaid and a septum. She could be like a Bushwick mermaid, like a sea punk Ariel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I love that for her.
Yeah.
She could make like a Little Mermaid porno.
Yeah. She just eats out all the other mermaids though. I don't know if mermaids have pussies. I guess they do, but where? How do mermaids go to the bathroom?
Ariel gets a pussy when she has legs.
Right, yeah. There's a joke there somewhere.
I was trying to I don't know. Something Lolita Express. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah,
but don't my legs look thin?
Yeah, they do. You look, yeah.
I saw them in a reflection. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You look very gaunt and waifish. Good for you, Dasha.
Really, I'm having a hard time eating.
Yeah. I'm like more interested in seeing who they cast as Ursula. It's probably going to be Megan McCarthy, which sucks because like Kathy Bates is too old to play her and Adie Bryant is too pretty to play her.
It needs to be a drag queen.
Like Divine.
That's what Paul and Patrick and I agreed on. On my not really appearance.
It's really sad that like Divine is dead because she would have made a great Ursula. She has the nose, the profile. Perfect. The thing with American casting is that they never get the bone structure right because Americans don't really understand bone structure because they don't understand art history.
What do you mean bone structure?
Well, like, you know, when they cast Angelina Jolie, who's admittedly gorgeous,
of course,
as the evil queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it's like, well, okay, I get it. She kind of has that cat-like icy demeanor.
Yeah.
But she didn't have the nose. Like the evil queen is like one of these women with like a Barbara Streisand profile, which is what makes her look evil.
Right.
So like you need that type of woman. But like those type of women don't exist in Hollywood anymore because they've all gotten nose jobs.
Exactly.
So like what do you do? Like street casting? I guess Meryl Streep could do it if she packed on 40 pounds.
Ursula?
Yeah. She has that kind of bony proboscis.
Not that old.
No, I guess not.
It should literally be a drag queen. That would be the wokest thing to do.
Yeah, it would be way cooler.
It would be, I don't know,
than casting a mere fat chick.
Yeah.
I hope they get this one right because I'm really like interested in seeing. And also, by the way, Ursula was like the hottest villain when she gets skinny and turns into like a siren or whatever.
Yeah. I don't remember, but sure.
I wonder who they're going to cast as hot Ursula. That's what I want to know. Like Megan Fox or someone. Yeah.
Anna Khachiyan is hot Ursula.
Yeah. I wish. I'm like a 400-pound person in the body of like an 100-pound person. I have the personality of a 400-pound man.
A lot of personality.
Somebody
on this
airlift me out of the apartment. All right, I guess it's that time.
It's time to talk about Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, it's time to absolve Jeffrey Epstein of all wrongdoing. Just kidding.
Anna.
This is going to be the true crime documentary of the decade. I bet you like HBO and Showtime and Netflix and Hulu and all of them are scrambling for the rights right now.
Yeah, definitely. There's an intense bidding war for the Lolita Express movie.
Yeah, it can just be called the Lolita Express. Lolita Express.
Lolita.
It's such a shame that such a catchy phrase is being used to describe this man's disgusting private air jet plane and his international sex trafficking ring.
So what I don't get,
and
maybe this is stupid, but why now?
That's exactly the question I asked. I literally texted my boyfriend hoping he could come up with
I asked a male in my life as well what he thought.
I was like, baby, why now? Can you just feed me some Red Scare hot takes?
I literally said the same thing. To my writing partner, I said, do you have any hot takes that I could steal?
Well, I guess
I just don't, because he's still powerful.
Well, the idea is that it's a partisan, I don't know how to pronounce that, Rorschach test. Did I get that?
Rorschach.
I'm sorry, I said I said abdominal instead of abominable.
Okay.
Whatever on the last one. But like some people,
this is unscripted, folks.
Yeah, we're doing it live. Some people said that it's going to spell the end of Trump's presidency.
Delusional.
Because there are rumors that the Trump administration wants their labor secretary Alex Acosta out, and Alex Acosta is the guy who famously presided
him the sweetheart deal.
Yeah. So there's that, but the idea, I guess, is that in opening that Pandora's box, they've kind of unleashed some unforeseen dark forces, which will eventually come back to Trump himself. Trump has denied that he and Epstein were ever friends, even though he has that famous quote in the New York Mag Epstein profile. It was like, Jeffrey's a fun guy. He loves young women, beautiful women, especially young ones.
Yeah. So they're trying to get Trump on on a rape.
Yeah.
Basically.
The other thing is that guess who was the head of the FBI when this was all going down 10 years ago? It was Robert Mueller. I still don't. Yeah. So maybe it's comeuppance from the Trump administration against him for orchestrating this entire fraudulent collusion investigation.
Okay. So what do you make of the speculation, or like that one article that said that Epstein was like working with like the intelligence agencies?
What do you mean?
Let me find it. I was going to send it to you. I guess I didn't.
Oh, there's right. Okay. Wait, no, I know what you're talking about.
The reason he hasn't gone down long ago is because he has
because
so
he
much
classified
dirt on everyone else who's rich and powerful and a pedophile.
Right.
Which is everyone.
Right. So it reminded me of this thing Will Menaker tweeted today about how American politics and America in general is a lot like the movie Chinatown, in that it's unclear whether the political corruption is covering up the sex crimes or the sex crimes are covering up the political corruption. And then in the end, you learn that they're basically one and the same.
Yeah.
And
powerful people love to fuck kids.
Yeah, they love it, folks. And they also love to create endless war and international displacement.
Because being rich makes you wretched.
It makes you evil, yeah.
It really does. It's like it makes like worms inside you that burrow into your brain and make you bad.
I mean, there's a point.
No one should be a billionaire.
No, I agree. There's like, I really hate this kind of like annoying woe is me American leftist position where they complain about anybody who's middle class and kind of besmirch them as rich. But there is a point when the utility of being rich becomes so marginal that it's like non-existent, i.e. when you're a billionaire. Like, you don't need billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And
no, it's bad for the state of your soul.
Right. And I often wonder naively, why don't these billionaires reallocate all of their funds into philanthropic endeavors? They merely kind of LARP at being philanthropists. Epstein, of course, has a long record of like liberal science philanthropy, which mainly exists to like normalize his image as a good guy who cares about investing in the future, in the climate, et cetera, when of course that's not the case. Yeah. But it's all like kind of a drop in the bucket. So yeah, there's this idea that he had kind of credible, confidential information on a host of other kind of top tier political and financial players. Yeah. And it's unclear whether that information was sexual or political in nature. I think there's also the idea that maybe the Trump administration is trying to chasten him now because he might have some sort of information on Trump. I don't know. It seems purely speculative.
But if he did, wouldn't that come out? My understanding was that he had information on everyone from Bill Clinton to Donald Trump to the whole list of people that were on his fucking plane. And that's why he was like on above reproach. That's why we knew we couldn't get him.
Right. I mean, it's interesting because
I just don't believe that like randomly justice is being served.
Right. Under the banner of Me Too. I think like Me Too feminists are going to use this as an opportunity to say like, see, our 3-year-long crusade has triumphed. Yeah. And if it means that given their claims, if it means that a guy like Jeffrey Epstein gets to go down, then we should all be for Me Too because it's a worthy cause.
Of course.
But I don't think that that's the case. I agree. There's some kind of political subterfuge going on behind the scene.
Weinstein only went down because his business wasn't profitable.
Right.
His Tulip Fever was a flop. He was like weak.
Yeah.
If he was like in the height of his career,
nobody would touch him.
No one would say anything.
I mean, but that's like, it's funny because I mean, remember when Weinstein was in the news and he was the one that kind of started this whole Me Too train. Yeah. And you had people like Oprah and Meryl Streep distancing themselves from him when it was clear that they probably knew all along. They had some inkling and they are photographed at parties with him.
Well, so it was an open secret and it was just the way things were done.
And the thing with this Epstein thing is that it's even more evil and horrible than the Weinstein thing.
It's insane.
It's insane. Somebody on Twitter was, when I said something negative about Weinstein, somebody said like, well, you guys defend pedophiles and sex creeps on your podcast all the time. And I was like, Woody Allen and Louis C.K. are not in the same, or not of the same caliber as Jeffrey Epstein by like a long run.
Of course.
I mean, it's really
the Woody situation. I can't get into.
Yeah, we can't.
I could talk all day.
But it's really interesting because if you look at what he did, he had like a team. He's like R. Kelly, but on a much greater scale. He had a team of like helpers and fixers. Not only did he have these young girls recruiting girls at shopping malls and house parties, he also had a team of like wealthy, high-powered people like this British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, and what's this other guy? There was this guy Jean-Luc Brunel, who was a co-owner or a co-partner with Epstein in this international modeling agency.
Oh my God.
Like originally this investigation was limited to Palm Beach. Now these charges are being brought in New York.
Because he's trafficked the kids.
Yeah.
And they found child porn.
Yeah.
And it was labeled like my child porn. Yeah. They found like CDs.
And like a childlike scroll.
Yeah. The really good child porn.
Yeah. I mean, he's like a real pedophile. This one girl reported how he basically didn't like her because her breasts were too big.
Yeah.
Which that to me screams pedophile. It's not like Donald Trump says he liked girls who looked young. He liked young girls.
Right.
Which is like so dark. And also the Miami Herald did a bunch of like amazing reporting on this case that a friend of the pod clued me onto, in where they managed to locate 80 girls who had been molested, 80 who had been molested or otherwise coerced or abused by this guy. I think something like 36 are actually named in legal documents. One of them committed suicide.
Right.
And of course, much like R. Kelly, he targeted girls who were already from underprivileged homes and the victims of sexual abuse.
Who needed money to he paid them to massage him, right? And then he would like diddle them.
Yeah. Yeah, it would like get kind of worse and worse.
Rich people are sick.
They're so twisted. I was wondering why he, like, I guess the most shocking thing is like, why was he paying underage girls for sex? Everybody knows you don't have to compensate underage labor. I guess it was some kind of hush money, but like, is he stupid? It's like paying a girl, like a 14-year-old girl, to suck you off for $1,000.
Well, they need money.
No, I know. And I'm sure they took the money because they had no other option, but like eventually it's going to get back to you. I think the striking thing is that these people really think they're above the law.
Because they are.
And they have no reason to think otherwise.
I mean, yeah. Until now.
Yeah. I mean, it's also stunning.
More will be revealed.
Yeah. I mean, the why now will be revealed in the coming weeks, probably. I mean, I'm worried that it's going to become like a vast, like, field of conspiracy theories.
QAnon has already been speculating about.
Yeah, but you know,
Pizzagate, etc., and they kind of are right.
They're right, but
the establishment are like sex pests and pedophiles.
Yeah. Well, the thing with
people in power like to fuck kids.
Yeah.
Full stop.
They like to fuck kids, like, personally and also indirectly.
Yeah, they like to fuck over kids. Yeah. And also fuck them.
They're all about fucking kids.
And Hillary Clinton obviously knew about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. And the thing is, like, Donald Trump, I think, was on his private jet something like 4 times, in part, as they report, because he has his own private jet, so they don't really need...
Yeah, of course.
But Bill Clinton was on that jet 25 times.
Come on.
Let's not pretend that he didn't know what was going on.
And Trump is not a pedophile.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
I don't think Trump's ever like raped a teen.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have like that, a pathology like that.
Yeah, I think he maybe has pathologies for baby voiced Eastern European women, but that does not make him a pedophile.
Yeah, he's interested in sort of the like symbolic trappings of femininity and sexuality. Yeah. He likes like Miss America.
Yeah, he likes womanly women.
Yeah, he's not interested in. He's like too dumb to be a pedophile or something, Yeah,
he's not neurotic enough to be a pedophile.
Exactly. Like his mind is pure
because it's operating on the level of Barron's mind.
There's 2 brain cells rubbing together. There's no way he's gonna like develop some kind of sexual pathology.
Yeah,
Stormy he's like Stormy. That's why Stormy Daniels is like the person reporting on her sexual encounter.
Yeah, he likes big, beautiful women with rubbery tits.
Yeah.
And leathery faces.
Classic.
and saggy jowls. But he did allegedly cooperate with the investigation. He was the only one who like picked up the phone out of all these powerful people, which included
Trump,
Prince Andrew, Alan Dershowitz, who was Epstein's defense lawyer, Bill Clinton, of course. I looked at the Black Book that Gawker published in 2015, which I didn't find particularly alarming outside of the fact that it contained the personal information of the girls that he was trafficking.
Yeah.
But as far as all the celebs and politicians were concerned, I think it's par for the course that like a billionaire money manager would have the names of celebs in his address book.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything like necessarily there. Right. But yeah, this guy's like a real piece of work. I was telling Dasha I've been up for like 4 hours, like butt chugging all of this Epstein trivia.
Yeah, you have a fever.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of what's really going on.
What I'm stunned by is I've seen a few people talk about how good looking Epstein is.
Yeah. 1 or 0 on the binary I was going to ask you.
0.
But imagine, okay, just take away the pedophile stuff. He's like swarthy.
0. You
kind of still a 0 for me.
You could make a case that he looks like my type, I guess, but there's like kind of like, as I tweeted, a Ted Bundy-esque glint in his eye. He looks like Ron Perlman.
Well, I think you're projecting because you know that he's a bad person.
Yeah, maybe if I was
But objectively, I guess he has like chiseled features. Not for me.
No. But yeah,
you heard it here first, folks. You're not attracted to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really bizarre, especially this fact that this guy Alex Acosta negotiated favorable terms with his defense attorneys, one of whom was potentially implicated in the child sex ring with him.
Good God.
I mean, it boggles the mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have like so many notes here. I guess the scariest thing for me isn't how many rich and powerful people participated in the actual sexual misconduct, but how many of them knew what was going on and turned a blind eye. Exactly. That's almost worse.
Well, that's what power is.
Yeah.
That's what it means to be powerful.
Yeah.
Like, you can't cross Epstein because he's too like well connected.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably has dirt on tons and tons of people.
Yeah, and he probably has some Mossad agents at his disposal.
Definitely.
He was accused of intimidating witnesses. Like he tried to run one of the girls' fathers off the road.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
this was going to be a good movie.
Yeah, it'll be like a real Lifetime original. There was also one of the women alleged that Donald Trump did rape her at one of these mixers when she was 13, though I think the charges were thrown out. I don't know. I mean,
I just don't think he would do that.
Yeah, I'm going to put my money on no. Donald Trump is bad enough as he is without us branding him as a pedophile.
He's very transparently evil.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he has like really skeletons in his closet or like some kind of dark psychosexual pathology. I really think he's just like is as bad as he openly exists and is. You know?
Yeah. Another person who was on his legal team was Kenneth Starr.
I saw that too.
So he has like kind of all the top lawyers. I'm surprised like Gloria Allred didn't sign on, even though she's usually a feminist firebrand, though that woman will come to the opening of an envelope and literally defend anyone if they're guilty.
When you say that.
But yeah, what else in the Epstein trove? It's also really interesting because as part of the terms of his first non-prosecution agreement, he basically served 13 out of 18 months in a very low security situation
where he was allowed to leave for work related purposes.
Yeah, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. So he basically used his jail cell as a hotel room,
basically,
which is crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, it's why they call it a sweetheart deal.
Yeah, that sounds so adorable.
I love saying sweetheart deal.
I know. It has a ring to it. I want a sweetheart deal.
Maybe you should be a journalist, Anna.
I've tried. I like spinning my own theory. I don't like compiling data and statistics from other sources.
Getting to the bottom of things.
I'll leave like Michael Tracy to do that. It's not for me. It's an essentially male discipline, I think. Or maybe not, because women are good at information gathering
and infiltrating spaces.
Yeah, and also they have better instincts than men.
Yeah, true.
And can like smell bullshit. Yeah, what else? There was like a bunch of dark shit that I wanted to talk about that I can't remember now. I have like a dossier of notes. I'm like Charlie from Always Sunny, like with a chalkboard trying to figure out all of the linkages.
What's like what?
So another interesting thing is that this pact required him to plead guilty to 2 prostitution charges in state court in Florida, even though the girls were minors. So it's dubious whether they could even be considered prostitutes, because ordinarily that falls under sex trafficking.
Right.
And
so they got him on the child porn.
Originally,
what was he arrested for now?
For sex trafficking. Now he faces sex trafficking. He faces 1 count of sex trafficking and 1 count of attempted sex trafficking, basically, which will put him away for 45 years if they get a guilty verdict. Wow. So he's probably going to spend the rest of his life in prison if he doesn't weasel his way out of it somehow.
She very well might.
But at the time, 10 years ago, he and 4 of his co-conspirators who were named in the agreement actually received immunity from all federal criminal charges, so they couldn't be prosecuted again. So this case is a little delicate in that the prosecutors now have to avoid this whole double jeopardy thing, because you can't try a case that has already been tried. Right. Another interesting fact is that as part of that original plea, it had a clause that victims could not be notified. So often they heard about the developments in the case on the news, like things that directly pertained to their suit.
My God.
Yeah, it's so twisted.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. And I think like this guy, Alex Acosta, has framed it as like, I got caught up in this mess. I was pressured by these like oligarchs, whatever, which like,
they said they told Acosta he was above his pay grade.
Right. Yeah.
Like, don't worry about this one. And that's when they said that, because he was intelligences, which is leading people to speculate on Twitter that he is also working for the Russians. Oh God.
I knew the liberals were going to turn this into like a Russian
I was told
Epstein
case. Belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. He told his interviewers in the Trump transition.
I see. Okay.
Like, meaning whatever, the CIA, FBI.
Yeah, and I think when they did confirm him as labor secretary, they asked him like exactly like 1 question about this case. And then the Trump administration is really talented at picking out the worst ghouls.
Literally the worst.
Like between Alex Acosta and Brett Kavanaugh, Bolton.
Absolute goblins.
The only one I truly miss is Scaramucci.
Yeah.
He's at least like a relatively harmless ghoul. But the other thing that's like almost virtually unheard of and totally bizarre is that as part of this deal, 4 of his accomplices received immunity too.
Right.
So they weren't kind of like tried on their own.
You're telling me these pedophiles are just out there.
Yeah, they're just like hanging out. I mean, it's like the Vatican. It's like a church cover up. It's that level.
Totally.
The scary thing is that I think it makes people really dig their heels in with all the conspiracy stuff.
Well, because sometimes conspiracies are true.
They're true, but the world is like, the reality is much more mundane, but much worse.
Right.
Which was, these guys were just paper pushing. They were just doing their jobs and taking kickbacks.
Yeah.
And they like, and the thing is like, never mind justice for these girls. Justice for society is not served. Mm-hmm. It's like corruption on such a grand scale. Anyway, how are we doing on time?
We're like an hour and 5.
We're like an hour. Wow. Okay.
We could wrap it.
Have I done? Do you have any more commentary on Jeffrey Epstein?
I mean, I really tried to generate a hot take, but I'm just confounded as to, I'm just suspicious. That's my position.
Why this is happening right now.
Like, and I don't think it would be happening unless someone sanctioned it. Someone very powerful, like that there was a reason for it to happen. You know?
Right. But what's the agenda here?
I don't know. Exactly. I don't know.
That's what we really want to know.
More will be revealed.
Yeah. And
I'm paranoid.
Yeah. And
I just don't, I don't believe that people as rich and powerful as Jeffrey Epstein ever have to
face any sort of justice. Well, what's the scoop on Weinstein? How's he doing now? Is he going to jail?
He probably won't go to jail.
Okay.
I don't think he will.
And Epstein is far richer than Weinstein.
I think so, yeah. And more just, I don't think Harvey will go to prison.
More like well connected.
Yeah. More just, I mean, Harvey's well connected too, but Harvey's frivolous, he's like in the entertainment industry.
Right. I mean, I'm less interested in kind of like the salacious sexual angle of this plot line than I am in the political kind of the corruption.
Yeah.
Right. Because that is a complete breach of trust of the American public.
True.
I guess I would say go watch Chinatown and then go watch Costa Gavras.
I don't know what that movie is that you keep talking about.
You have to watch it, Dasha. You'll love it. It's about the defeat of the left in Greece.
Amazing.
It has like a great kind of conspiracy theory plot line, an all-star roster of French actors. It's wonderful.
Fantastic.
Amazing cinematography. They should screen it at Metrograph.
I'd love to. If you're listening.
Yeah.
If you're listening. Okay.
I want to hear what Marianne Williamson has to say about Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm-hmm. She'd probably have some strong words for him.
Yeah.
She hasn't been on that plane.
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it.
Yeah. All right. We will be back later this week.
We're going to talk about Midsommar.
Yeah. Talking about some movies. That's it.
That's it.
Well, I hope we see Jeffrey Epstein in hell.
See you in hell.